Okay. Let's get... Oh my god, that's actually a great angle. Fantastic. Alright, there's Brian O'Hare. Let's get the YouTube up. We'll do introductions in a second. Hold on a second. Let's do something real quick, guys. Oh, how's it going now? Okay, now it's working. Okay, they said it's better now. Huh. Let me see. All right, can you guys hear me? Oh God, he's on a swan boat playing with his boyfriend. Okay, PJ Good Times. Stream kicks ass. All right, we'll try to stay on this side of the lake. All right, thank you guys. Anyways, I'm here with, oh shit. Oh fuck. Get out of here. Oh fuck. This thing's waterproof.
Got a nautical emergency here.
Yeah, this is Brian O'Hare. He's the author of a book called Surrender, which I read, and we met at my bar. And he's the winner of the Veterans Writers Award?
Veterans Writing, Syracuse University Press Veterans Writing Award.
In
2021.
Yeah, and that's a tough one.
It made you cry, didn't it?
The book made me cry. I was sitting in a. It's not what you think it is. When I saw the title Surrender, and I saw the American flag and everything, I was like, okay, is this going to be another like war veterans memoir? And I was going to open it up, and it was going to be like me and blah blah blah, or like sharing an MRE, and he was jacking off to a picture of my wife, and blah blah blah. But it was actually, most of it was about growing up in Pittsburgh, and There was a lot of military stuff.
Marine Corps stuff.
There's a lot of Marine Corps stuff, but it was very gentle. And it was very, there's a specific chapter that has to do with your father, who was a Vietnam veteran.
Yeah, he was a Marine pilot in Vietnam.
Yeah, a hero. That got shot down and shit.
Yeah, he got shot down.
An absolute hero. There's a part in it with your dad that made me I was sitting at the Bank of America Plaza crying my eyes out.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, you want to check the chat real quick? Number one, who's the Silver Fox? That's Brian O'Hare.
Thank you.
Matty Rat is he's a gay paleontologist in Uruguay. And he says, I am here. Brian looks very sophisticated and masculine. Congrats, Brian, on your award. Stay beautiful.
Thank you.
David plays guitar sometimes, is in Johnstown, Pittsburgh.
Johnstown is more Pittsburgh than Pittsburgh.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, what's his name?
David.
David, was it last year? I took a bus from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, and it took me through all the second cities of Pennsylvania, and one of them was Johnstown. It looked kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh shit, we're gonna crash into these two. Brian's the captain right now.
Yeah.
I'm just working the engines. This is actually, I don't want to sound like an absolute pussy, but if you're doing this for an hour, your legs are going to be burning.
You sound like a pussy.
I sound like a pussy, okay. Fuck, we're getting turned around.
I'm turning us around.
Oh, they're turning us around. Anyways, so, Brian interested me because, as Joey puts it, I surround myself with what he calls kill machines. It's what he calls veterans.
Kill machines?
Kill machines, jokingly. But he was like, there aren't many guys I know that I haven't met that many Gulf War veterans.
It's an asterisk war.
Really?
I mean, I can't believe anybody even remembers it. Trust me, it'll come at a certain time very soon, and nobody's going to remember it.
Really? I remember the Gulf War as the first war that had looking back on it, because there were some video games that took place in the Gulf War that I played growing up, right? And that's all I knew was we had to take out Scud missiles at some point. Should I reverse?
That was weird.
We had to take out Scud missiles. That was Saddam had Scud missiles. That was the big danger.
Actually, a really interesting thing. We're gonna back into. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Oh crap.
It'd be kind of cool to ram into each other, I think. I saw a Scud explode.
What?
I was just walking. I was in this place called Manifa, which was the 1st Marine Division's bivouac, south of the Kuwaiti border, middle of the night, and you just see this thing just like streaking across the sky, and it just fucking exploded.
They're huge missiles.
Yeah, and
They're
just
giant.
fucking blew up.
But that's all I know about the Scud. I knew about Kuwait, and how that was bullshit.
Yeah.
When did you learn that the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait was basically just kind of a lie? Not the invasion itself, but the babies in incubators and stuff.
I don't know, never.
Never?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because in September of 2024, I drove across Saudi Arabia in Kuwait. Mm-hmm. I have a friend of mine who was in the Persian Gulf, another Marine. He teaches English literature at the City University of New York now. He got this grant, and he told me he was going to include me on the thing. And it's like the last thing I wanted to do was drive across Saudi Arabia and Kuwait.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. I'd say Arab hospitality is the best in the world. It's not even close. But it was, so we flew into Jeddah, which is on the Red Sea, and then basically drove to Khafji, which is on the Persian Gulf. Mm-hmm. And nobody in Jeddah or the western side of the country even remembered the Persian Gulf War.
Serious?
Yeah. In Khafji, since the Iraqis had come into Khafji, I connected with this guy. He's probably in his 40s, and he was like 15 years old then. Uh-huh. And he remembers the Iraqis being in Khafji.
Yeah. And so they invaded Saudi Arabia too.
Yeah. At Khafji, which is right at the border with Kuwait. Anyway, he's like, fuck Saddam, fuck Saddam. And and then in going into Kuwait City was like, all of a sudden, everybody had this really like personal connection to the war. Like immediately, somebody's like, oh yeah, there's like a wall of martyrs. And this guy's like, oh yeah, man, they killed my uncle, but
Really?
And I was getting coffee at our hotel, and there's like a 20-year-old girl, and she's like, basically, what the fuck are you guys doing here? And we told her, and she stops. I'm a cynical bastard.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, you're the reason why we're free.
Interesting.
And I have to say, for somebody who has sort of like, been kind of cynical about, or very cynical about that war. Yeah. Because we weren't there to liberate the Kuwaitis. We were there to ensure the oil kept flowing. Mm-hmm. But sometimes even when you do shit like that like people get, good shit happens.
I had 2 classes that kind of formed my opinion on Iraq. I had a teacher in high school that was basically paid by the state of Israel to take a trip to Israel. He's my religion teacher. Yeah. And in return, he taught a Zionist class all year long.
Interesting.
Like Palestine's not a real country, and then we learned about it was like, it's all, basically everyone out there is a savage and yada yada yada. And then I took a history of the Middle East poli-sci class and at Glendale Community College, and that's where I kind of learned about I forget the ambassador's daughter who did the babies being thrown out of incubators thing, was a lie, but it's there's no gray area. Yeah, the Iraqis probably weren't very nice to the Kuwaitis. They probably saw it as a false country. The fascistic Iraqis probably weren't very nice to the Saudi Arabians. Yeah. Who are highly religious. This is crazy. I feel like I'm not absorbing any of this ride. My mind is in Scud missiles and Baathism.
There's not much to absorb.
It's nice though. It's really beautiful.
No, it's really beautiful. I kind of like the slight rocking of the boat. It's kind of calming.
I was joking on our way in here that the boat would be tilted and my just totally towards my section, but it's actually, I think the ballast is quite nice.
Yeah, they saw this coming.
Let's see. Somebody's asking, is that your real hair? Yes, it is.
My hair?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Look, can you believe it? It's the real color too. It's only gray on the outside.
Okay. People want me to ask you about 9/11 eventually.
All right.
Let's see.
Which I don't know anything about really.
Yeah.
I was here in Los Angeles, watched it on TV.
I remember my brother said a plane flew into the World Trade Center. My first question was, "What's the World Trade Center?"
But I mean, that's the thing, is that, again, the Kuwaitis, it was like being in Manhattan on 9/11 to have if you were a Kuwaiti of a certain age, like the Iraqi invasion was for real.
Yeah.
And they have, in addition to like Kuwaiti, the National Day, they have Liberation Day, which is right after it. So I think it's in February because that's when the war ended.
I remember the two things that stuck with me in that history of the Middle East class was the U.S. ambassador to Kuwait apparently told Saddam Hussein, like, we wouldn't really care if you invaded Kuwait. It's like a British territory. We don't really mind it. And Saddam Hussein took that as like 100% permission to invade a sovereign country. I was saying earlier, the Gulf War is the first war that I knew that had like merch. Like the Bart Simpson t-shirts and shit and all that stuff. It's just, it was an odd one.
What, there used to be these guys that would just pop up on the side of the road selling, like bootleg Bart Simpson, like Saddam can kiss my butt, man.
Yeah.
Eat my shorts, Saddam.
Yeah.
And they would sell like bootleg cassette tapes and stuff. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting. There's a whole strange, everybody.
I'm gonna park it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's there to make some money. You know what I mean? It was a surreal experience.
Yeah. How old were you?
I turned 25 in the Persian Gulf War.
Yeah, and just for the record, you went to the Naval Academy in Annapolis. Brian was an officer. You're an intelligence officer?
No, I was a supply officer for an infantry battalion.
Okay. And what, how long were you out there for?
In the Persian Gulf? We got there the day that the air war began, which was, we were on deployment to Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah.
So I was stationed at Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, Marine Corps Air Station, and it's the home of the 3rd Marine Regiment. And all the time, there's always one battalion of the 3 battalions of the regiment that's deployed to Okinawa, Japan.
Yeah.
Ready to, it's the idea, it's like that battalion's ready to go to do something.
Yeah.
While the other 2 are in Hawaii. So we were on deployment to Okinawa. The war broke out. We ended up in Saudi Arabia on like January 20th, 1991, and we're there until like early April.
Okay. So, yeah. And when, how long was that war overall, do you know?
I think, the ground war was like 4 days.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's kind of back to this sort of like Bart Simpson kind of thing. I have these like surrender leaflets that you would just see scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
They're kind of weird, like folk art in a way, because they're really primitive. Guy like, dreaming of his family back in Baghdad, and just all that stuff is really fascinating because there were like piles of like munitions and like artillery shells and weapons just scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
Like hand grenades.
You pick up.
You could just pick up and kill yourself.
And if you're inclined.
Well, that's the thing is that like it was very apparent to me that war, you arm 500,000 people or how many ever U.S. military was there, and you put them into a place and they kill them. Not intentionally. Some do.
Yeah.
But there's accidental discharges.
Yeah.
People get shot. People get killed. Truck drivers fall asleep. They roll over 5-ton trucks in Humvees. They kill everybody in back.
Yeah.
We had a guy in my battalion, talk about tragedy. He blew himself up with a hand grenade.
Jesus.
Because he had like his flak jacket and he was hanging the hand grenades, which are like little like metal balls. And he was hanging it by the pin.
Which isn't the move.
No, because like it's the explosive device. There's a spoon and then there's a pin that keeps all those 3 things together. And once you pull the pin and the spoon goes, it's going to go off. Yeah. So he tripped and the pin stayed attached to like this part, and then the spoon went and then the ball just dropped and blew himself up.
It's weird. the I'm trying to think about your book and what I know about your book. Oh, by the way, let me actually, before we even get into that, this will actually, if you guys want to read Brian's book.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna bump it real quick.
Please do. And you know what? It's I think one of the things that you liked about the book too is that it's accessible, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly it's literature, it's literary fiction, but it's, you know, it's accessible language, and it talks about shit that guys in particular, you know, deal with.
Well, what I liked about it is it kind of opens up in Pittsburgh.
Which is where I'm from.
Holy shit, it's fucking... Yeah, it's on Target.com. This is the cover of it. It's an amazing book.
Amazon, I mean, not like that asshole needs any more money, but Amazon's got it for like $11.50.
Yeah, get the hardcover.
But yeah, it's only out in hardcover right now.
So, all right, shout out to Annapolis. I think McVeigh sold merch.
Timothy McVeigh?
Yeah.
McVeigh blew himself up. Actually, I knew a guy that was at the Federal Building. He was one of my friends from 3rd Marines, my battalion in the Persian Gulf War.
Did he die?
Fuck yeah, he did.
Oh my God.
Randy, what was his last name? He was, because, you know, it's a Federal Building, and they had the recruiting office there or whatever. What was his last name? Randy? Big goofy Filipino American guy from like the Bay Area. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Blew up in
That's the thing. I had that's the 90s were. What a weird time for America. Were you more afraid when that was going off than like today, or what's?
You know what, I have to say, because of my age, I think then too, I was just
like whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it as. I mean, if you think about it, all that stuff was leading up to the shit show that we have going on today. You know, the fascism and the and you know, the obsession with kind of like cosplay,
military.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody thinks they're like a Navy SEAL now. They get outfitted like, you know, Marine Recon or Navy SEALs, and I mean, it was a slow sort of like build up to that. But I think all this stuff started really happening during like Reagan time.
Well, that was the thing I noticed. There's kind of a repeat of, and this is coming from the schlubbiest guy of all time. Like in the '80s when they had like American Gladiators, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like all this like hyper masculine kind of pro-American Reagan stuff, and it's almost like repeating again now because the pendulum's swinging backwards from Obama era, kind of like identity politics, and it's going the opposite way completely.
Well, it's sort of like, you know, that term, or that, like people say America. Yeah. That was like supposed to be like a punchline or a joke, but it's sort of like America has manifested into reality. You know what I mean? Whether it's Trump having a, you know, UFC fight at the White House, you know, or you know, it's like that was supposed to be a joke.
Team America World Police was a sitcom. It was a joke.
Exactly. But it's because people are like, oh, that's
us. Yeah,
that's us.
There's dicks, pussies, and assholes, and we're the dicks that fuck the assholes. That kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think again it started in that, like with Rambo. You know, they're gonna let us win this time.
Rambo's a tragic movie. The first Rambo's so sad.
You mean the acting, though?
The first Rambo's sad. Like the scene of him getting deloused in the fucking police like station is terrifying. They're hitting him with the fire hose and laughing, and he's like crying. It's fucking horrifying.
I find it so hard to take it seriously.
Really?
It's just
my uncle was a Vietnam vet, and he hated Rambo. He hated it so much, and the only story I ever heard of it is my cousin said he would smoke cigarettes in the movie theater long after you weren't allowed to smoke cigarettes in the movie theater anymore, but the theater attendants just got tired of telling him not to smoke cigarettes. And the entire time he'd go, he would have gotten killed there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fucking Hollywood movie, though, too. I have to say, too, I understand why he would hate it, because it kind of made... Everybody has this sort of like stereotype of a Vietnam vet. Yeah. Is like...
a pathetic, mentally deranged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's become it's a fucking stereotype. And I have to say too that even identifying as a veteran who writes, I don't lead with that because I think people have a stereotype of what a veteran is now. It's somebody who's homeless.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, yes, that's the
PTSD.
case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just, like, the baggage of that is, like, too huge.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for me, unless I can get out of a speeding ticket or get a free beer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like I have a regular at the bar named Derek, who's also a Marine veteran, and he was a parachute rigger for the Marines, which is, there's only like a couple hundred Marines who jump out of airplanes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he'd be with them all the time, and he's every time he's the nicest guy on planet Earth. He's hilarious, but he's always describing the fights he gets in on the bus with like people. He's very liberal. He's very this, and Ice was in the bar. Ice keeps coming by the bar.
Jesus
and
Christ.
they are the, like what you were just describing, the Navy SEAL kind of, and this will probably make you, the 5'11" pants and the tactical backpacks. And I thought they were sheriff's deputies first. So when they come in, I could spot a cop like a mile away because there's a lot of police officers who come in. But this guy, the leader of the guys comes up. He's got a little mustache. By the way, they're all firefighters. They all have firefighter credit union cards. And they come in, and this guy goes, so I'd make a joke, because all the LAPD guys that come in the bar, they're always like, they talk about what they do. But I come in, I go, so what kind of cops are you guys? Because they have the fucking whole get-up and everything. And they go, well, I'm half police and I'm military when you want me to be. And I was like, what? And then they wouldn't tell me what kind of police officer they were. And then eventually one of them slips at their DHS. And they keep coming by now. But Derek was there. And Derek was just noticeably angry at them.
Yeah, I would
and
be.
it was very tense for me because I'm standing there and I know Derek's 6 IPAs deep, and I know he's going to say something to them if he knows their eyes. And but I'm like, these guys are just shooting people whenever they want, basically.
We've seen it. They're executing people, executing American citizens.
Like that guy. Did you see the whole video with the negligent discharge and everything?
No.
So this guy, what happened is they had him on the ground, and an ICE agent takes his handgun away from him. As he's taking his handgun away from him, he fires his handgun once into the ground, and that's what caused them all to shoot him. But the man was disarmed. And the guy who took his gun away from him didn't say anything to the other cops that he had disarmed the guy. And the guy who actually took his gun away from him was the guy who fired the first shot into the ground, which caused them to just unload their guns on this guy.
Again, it's like, that's so... It's fucking amateur hour.
Yeah, that's what Derek was saying. He was like, that's insane. It was like, how much pressure... When you were in the military, you could have gone to military prison at any point if you did anything like that. You know what I mean?
The Marine Corps would basically draw and quarter you if you did something like that. If you fuck up on the range or whatever, if you turn, like they will just fucking knock you out on the range. So you don't do that. Yeah. So I mean, it's just, you got this basically like this, it is. People talk about like, a civil war or whatever. Well, I mean, we've got like these paramilitary people invading.
Thousands of them.
Exactly, thousands of them.
They're outnumbering the local police.
Yeah, and I mean, and they're killing people.
Yeah.
How's that not a war?
I remember I called you a couple months ago, and I was like, I just don't want to see like a soldier on the streets of LA. I don't want my kid to have to like walk around and see like a guy in fatigues with a rifle. And you see it in Europe every once in a while, but they don't have like a militarized police force the way we do. So it's bizarre to me, where I'm like, why is there a need for a soldier? And simultaneously, the funny thing is, LA Taco?
Yeah.
They did an interview with all these people who were at the protest, and they were going, the National Guard was actually the people who were nicest to us.
Sorry to interrupt you, but National Guard's interesting because, again, they're from here. They're Los Angelinos, they're Southern Californians, and, they have a stake in this community because it's... you went to school with this guy, it's some friend of the family. And so I think there is I don't know, they're more compassionate, I think. Yeah. And, you have somebody...
They're also probably younger.
Yeah.
And they've never been on. They haven't been on the force for 5 years, 6 years. They were dealing with crackheads or whatever the hell. You know, I assume half the ICE agents were prior law enforcement at some point. If not, what I noticed is they're all fucking firefighters. Which I was like, what the hell? Weird.
I thought the firefighters were supposed to be good guys.
I know. You know what's funny is whenever somebody's having a mental crisis at Union Station, they'll now call firefighters to deal with it, even if they have a weapon. I saw a firefighter talking down a guy with a knife. I was like, that's way better than a cop dealing with it.
Because a cop will just fucking shoot him.
And it was actually very endearing. It was a terrifying scene, but the firefighter is going, hey, calm down. There's a woman, a security guard was standing next to the guy with the knife, and on the phone, he had his social worker, and she was going, Hector, please put the knife down. And he was going, okay. Because half these guys, they don't know what's... I was starting to interrupt myself, but I remember there was a man jacking off in the fucking women's bathroom at Union Station, and the security was so frustrated with him. And then I was like, how dare he? You know, my first instinct was like, they should just kick this guy's ass. And then I look at him as he's leaving. He has shit going down the back of his pants. He has no idea where he is. Like, how do I blame that guy for doing anything that he's doing? He should be in a hospital.
Exactly, but I mean, even when I was getting a taco over here waiting for you, here's some guy just running down the middle of the street, you know, like barely dressed, you know, into traffic. How did that become the norm in America, where it's just like, oh yeah, there's just insane, violent people everywhere all the time?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, it's certainly, again, I'm of a certain age. I didn't start kind of clocking homeless people until Reagan got elected, and I think they just sort of like, fuck it, we're not going to pay for, you know, the hospitalization of these people. And then all of a sudden in the 80s, there was like homeless people.
Really? Really?
Yep.
There was like, were they like hobos before then? They had like sticks and bindles, and they were just kind of like, they wanted to be that.
Yes, and I think, but then all of a sudden in the 80s, it was just like, oh, fucking homeless people. And then, you know, during for COVID and during the first Trump administration, and it just like went on steroids. Like in this city, it just became like an army of insane people. My daughter worked 2 blocks from our house. Yeah. And she would, when she would get done, she would call me sometimes, like, there's a guy with a machete basically, you know, in the middle of the street. Yeah. Can you come and get me? So I would drive 2 blocks to come pick her up. But how did that just become the norm of American life? And
it's ruining commerce. You go down Broadway, you get these $3,000 a month apartments, and like you can't. There's no the downtown in downtown LA, which is very close to the heart of the homeless epidemic. I think in America.
I think it's. Of all the many cities that I've been in recently, there's no doubt that Los Angeles is by far the worst of. Even like New York City seems, you know, not that I've seen it extensively, but even Philadelphia, you know, it's better than LA.
Yeah, nobody wants to live down there because it's they see, and I remember my dad told me. I want to say like a year ago, I was talking to him because I was living like very close to where the worst of the last bookstore. You know what I mean? And I called my dad, and my dad said like in the 1960s and 70s, like if somebody was pitching a tent on the sidewalk, they would have like laughed and thought it was funny. Like, what are you doing, camping out here? Like, and he said eventually, like a day later, a cop would come by and be like, all right, like what are you doing? Like, get out of here. And now you have tent cities, which is something that I grew up in Glendale, and the idea of a homeless person in Glendale was weird. Yeah. Like, I remember when I was a kid, there were 2 homeless guys in our neighborhood, but they were like homeless by choice, and they had names. It was like, one of them was named like Charlie, and he would like bust dishes at a bar. And like now it's if you go under any freeway overpass, there are a line of trailers, RVs, tents. Yeah. In the warehouse district, I had to go get a U-Haul one time, and I took like a Lime scooter, and Lime scooters, they have like specific places you can drop them off. So when you get sort of out in the sticks in like a commercial area, there's like the place you want to go, the Lime scooter drop off point is like half a mile away from us. I'm like, fuck, okay. So I dropped the Lime scooter off, and I got to walk underneath this overpass. And I was like, holy shit, this is fucking terrifying. It was like Escape from LA.
Yeah.
There are probably 40 people living under this overpass.
Yeah.
Blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I don't I don't think about it. And sometimes the things you see on the street, just like if you painted them, they would be like, it's like as tragic as that painting of Ivan the Terrible holding his son. Like I'm seeing these people huddled, and I have no idea what they're going through in their minds. And they're naked, and they have blankets around them. And I'm walking past them just like, oh, I got to get to work. And I'm like, if it was the 1960s, someone would scream at this site.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what the fuck is going on here? This person needs help.
Yeah.
It's just tragic.
Yeah, and it's just America.
Anyways, that's our part. No, I'm kidding. That's the live stream.
Is there any more questions?
Oh, yeah. Let's check out the chat. I'm getting distracted. Let's see if I'm just trying to make sure we're still live. We're killing it right now. All right, hold on. I'm going to open up the chat a little bit. Okay, let's see. They're talking to each other. We don't have to live like this.
I agree.
Let's see. Everybody's just gay bashing us.
Oh, that's cool. A lot of people with a lot of questions about their own sexuality, it sounds like.
Oh, this guy said McVeigh was in the Gulf War, and he says he thinks McVeigh sold Gulf War after the war.
Yeah, I don't know anything about McVeigh.
I'm not gonna. Brian's not a UAP guy.
What's that?
Any UFOs you ever see?
Oh, fuck no.
No. Someone says this role is super interesting. Who's John's boyfriend? This fucking kicks ass.
It does kick
ass. Thoughts on Jeffrey Epstein?
I'm sorry, what?
Thoughts on Jeffrey Epstein? Have you digged into that at all?
I mean,
no.
I mean,
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
I just want shit to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we've abducted the leader of Venezuela. Mm-hmm. We're talking about invading Greenland and, fighting our NATO allies. Mm-hmm. And the other day, I'm tired of saying his name, called for the arrest of Obama. And again, it seems like some epic distraction.
I think it's a kind of a purposeful exhaustion.
Yeah.
Because I do think it all kind of centers around the Epstein files. It's these things started leaking, and then he just went fucking insane. Yeah. ISIS everywhere. We're kidnapping Maduro. We might invade Greenland. Now, they're sending these, I'm looking online, these guys who track plane flights. There's, specific planes the Air Force has where, if that plane's in your airspace, it's a very bad sign for you. And there's these very specific planes being sent to the Mediterranean around Iran and stuff. And, I'm just okay, so this and the weird thing is this newest batch of leaks, it's not even Republican, everybody's doing it. Everybody's associating with this guy. God, who's that Supreme Court justice? The one they didn't like that just got appointed, the newest one. You know what I'm talking about, the Republican?
The Kavanaugh?
Kavanaugh came out either recently or not long ago and said this man is obviously a CIA asset and a Mossad asset. He's Epstein.
Oh.
Obviously a CIA asset and a Mossad asset, and he's there to compromise people. That's what he does. And the whole thing, they said his whole purpose was to drum up support for the Iraq War. And
that was worth it.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
I'm being facetious.
Absolutely.
Well, we spent what was that, $1 billion a day?
25 years.
Yeah.
And then you look at, and the homelessness just got worse.
Yeah, but at least we
got him.
Yeah, wow, we got him. Old Saddam Hussein. That was very satisfying. I was really worried that...
What did you feel when you saw him with his nose bashed in with that guy holding him up or anything?
I don't know. But there was a really interesting book that a friend of mine, Will Bardenberger, wrote. He was in the Army, and he was part of the MP unit who guarded Saddam Hussein in prison. And it's called The Prisoner in His Palace.
Yeah.
It's really fucking fascinating, and it's really smart. So these guys, their entire job is just to guard Saddam Hussein in his prison cell, and they do it for like a year. And after a while, they just sort of develop kind of a relationship with him. They talk with him, and when he is finally executed, actually they're surprised to find they kind of feel like a sadness that, like,
I'm sure,
because whatever. Obviously, a fucking
he's a psychopath.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was an absolute psychopath.
But,
very interesting man, though.
Absolutely,
That's a very interesting guy.
And again, this is just my interpretation, and it's not based in any like real scholarship or anything. But my impression is that like he got the rules of the game. You know what I mean? And he always knew it was going to end a certain way. Like it's like being like a mob boss or something.
I think Maduro felt the same way.
I'm sure.
I mean, Maduro was constantly saying they're going to get me eventually in his speeches and like, come, drop it. I think all these guys kind of feel that way eventually.
But I think Hussein, in a way, then like accepted the fact. They bore no ill will towards the guards. It's like, you're a 22-year-old guy, and like, tell me about your girlfriend again. Like dispensing almost like grandfatherly advice, and then when it came time to, he was like, okay, time to die. Yeah. And I think that was part of the sadness or whatever, the sort of strange or conflicting feelings when he was finally executed. Anyway, Prisoner in His Palace, terrific book. Oh my God. So I didn't have any opinions on Saddam Hussein.
He from what I understand about him, his sons were insane.
Oh yeah.
But Saddam himself, a bad guy. But from what I kind of gather from like Baathism in general, and is like they were almost like Arab Nazis. They were secular. They were like Arab supremacists. Yeah. And that's probably why they didn't get along with Saudi Arabia. But also simultaneously, he did very, as most dictators do, every once in a while they'll do like Looney Tunes level, like kind of incredibly dark things, but simultaneously I'm like, when America invaded Iraq, he just started hitting Israel with missiles, which makes sense in like a strategic way, but simultaneously was also like a big, almost like philosophical middle finger to America. Yeah. Like we know who's running the fucking show. Yeah. And then he electrocuted like thousands of guys, and the Iran-Iraq War is actually incredible. It's one of the deadliest wars in the 20th century, and nobody knows about it because it didn't have anything to do with either of us.
No, exactly. I mean, it's one of those things, white Americans in particular, I think it's like there's a certain level of obliviousness. Yeah. Well, it doesn't affect me. Yeah. So, and I think really what's happening right now is it's something that a lot of black Americans and a lot of Americans of color have sort of understood for a very long time and have sort of experienced on an intimate level for hundreds of years. And now Trump is making basically middle-class white Americans feel the same thing. Yeah,
the slowly disappearing middle-class white Americans.
Of course, and it has sort of like pierced this obliviousness in a way. Mm-hmm. So it was a James Baldwin, I think, maybe he was paraphrasing somebody else, but he called it the lifting of the veil. Yeah. And white Americans, they like to have the veil on because it's like, well, I don't know, just do what the police officer says and everything's
you'll be fine.
But once they get that veil lifted, then they're like, oh shit, I don't want to see this. I prefer to keep the veil on. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know where I was going with that. Go back to the questions.
Oh shit, let's see. The Devil's Double. That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a really good movie.
Yeah. I should reintroduce you again. People are coming in saying, who's this guy? How do you know him? This is Brian O'Hare, Marine Corps veteran, Naval Academy graduate, Gulf War veteran, award-winning writer, very interesting guy. Let's see. Should I join the military?
Be more specific.
Let's see. Do you like the Steelers?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Dumb question.
Do you like the show Generation Kill?
No, I didn't. I liked the book a lot, but unfortunately, I like the people who made it. It's like the Wire people, David Simon and all this stuff. But I think there were so many great lines from the book, which was like a non-narrative piece. It was like journalism, and it seems like they jammed it all into like. So everybody's just saying like, oh, amazing thing, amazing, kind of like this like enlisted Marine kind of foul poetry in a way, and it just was like. I don't know.
It didn't show the mundane parts of war.
Yeah, no, I didn't find it to be believable. I mean, not that it has to be like. It was just very flawed, I think, and I think it was from outsiders who were sort of enamored of the sort of Marine Corps mythology in a way, and they allowed themselves to become blinded by their enjoyment of that mythology, and they couldn't create, a worthwhile story.
Yeah.
But the book was terrific, I thought.
Somebody else. Did you like Maryland? That's where the Naval Academy is, right?
Yeah, Maryland's great. I love Maryland. I love crabs. I love crab cakes, and
you got crabs, and that's how things go.
Are they from Maryland?
No, some guys from Maryland. He's asking if you like Maryland. Let's see.
Maryland's an interesting state because they identify by county.
Really?
Yeah, I think. People say, oh, I'm from, you ask where they're from. Well, I'm from Montgomery County, or I'm from Howard County, or whatever.
There's no, like, cities?
I mean, I think people do that, too, because they want to make sure, well, at least in Baltimore, they let you know they're from Baltimore County. So, and I think there's a kind of veiled racism in that, because they're like, I'm not from the city of Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore County. I love Maryland. Maryland's a terrific
I went there I spent the beginning of the pandemic in Baltimore.
Really?
I had my buddy, the guy. I was at Fort Dix, New Jersey, when the pandemic was happening.
Yeah, it's appropriate, right?
Yeah, Yeah, there we go. I was there. I have a friend. I was writing his Afghan war memoirs for him, and I was condensing them. And he paid me $1,200 to do it. And I was like, sure, I'll hang out with you for 2 weeks on a military base. And shit kept getting shut down. And he was like, I can't go outside of 90 miles of the base. So, but he was like, but fuck that, we're gonna go to Maryland tonight and get some dinner. So I was like, okay, we're in New Jersey, and that's the thing. I'm from LA. I don't know how close everything is. To me, I'm like,
really close,
dude. I was like, are we gonna drive 7 hours? Like, what the fuck's going on? So we get down to Baltimore. One of the greatest one nights I've ever had in my life. It was St. Patrick's Day. I think 2019 is when everything started.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, and it was honestly like planes, trains, and automobiles because I had to go see my girlfriend afterwards. So it was crazy. My girlfriend in Michigan. So I was in ex-girlfriend at the time, ex-girlfriend now, but I was in Baltimore in Canton, and his friend was this very wealthy guy that was very nice who owned the largest row house in Canton. It had an elevator in it.
Yeah.
And I slept on a love seat. And I remember going out with him and a friend of mine, David, and we got completely drunk at this Polish club.
Yeah, I mean, that part of Baltimore has there's an old Polish community there, like in Fells Point.
All I remember is this guy, he's serving hot dogs at the Polish club on St. Patrick's Day, and he's got this hot dog, and he's like, you want ketchup and mustard? And I go, yeah, and he goes, you want Old Bay? And I go, what? And he goes, you got to put Old Bay on your hot dog. It's the best fucking thing you'll ever have. And I go, okay. And it was amazing.
Old Bay is amazing.
Shit, speaking of Saddam and prisons, while we're at that Polish club, the guy who guarded Chemical Ali shows up.
It's
one of his buddies. Yeah, it's one of his friends. He's like, come on in. And this guy who's in the National Guard unit, and he was one of Chemical Ali's guards. And he was, Chemical Ali was ancient. He was a very old man. And he told me about that. And he told me about how Chemical Ali would just do, it doesn't sound so much like a Saddam thing. Chemical Ali the entire time was purposefully, not agitating, but just whenever you asked him to walk anywhere, he'd walk at half speed. Just to annoy all the guards, because they knew he was an old man. They're not going to beat him up or anything. So he would just fuck with them all day. But and then I had to drive 9 hours. I drove to Pittsburgh to meet my cousins from Pittsburgh, and I rented a car in Pittsburgh, and I drove to Michigan.
Wait, I like this little cove over here.
This is nice. Where are we going?
I just want to make sure we just don't
fuck with the wetlands. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
This is actual amazing lighting for this.
Look how
I'm looking at the camera. I got this cell phone because it's got a 4K camera on it. Let's see. None of us have watched the Epstein intro yet. How did you get into writing after the military?
Well, I started out, a million years ago. I thought I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
And wow, that's a really horrible way to live your life. And after about the 1,000th Doritos commercial audition here in Los Angeles, I just couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, fast forward another 10 years or so after producing some low-budget documentaries, I just always knew that these stories were in my head, and I just had to sit my ass down and just start to do it. So I started writing short stories first because I figured that, if I couldn't write a convincing 15-page story, I sure as shit couldn't write a convincing 255-page novel. And then after really about 6 years of that, I had developed some kind of proficiency. I was satisfied with this is a good story. And so basically I realized that the thing that turned me on about acting and about producing films and stuff is the story. I'm a storyteller. And it just took a while to manifest into a written thing. I've always written. I used to be an editor at large for a magazine called Movie Maker. Friend of mine, Tim Rice, had it. It just, that whole journalism kind of writing, I think sucks. I remember I interviewed, was it Seth Rogen one time? It was fucking terrific. And we talked about Animal House, and it was this interesting interview. And, the people at the magazine are like, oh, okay, but when's his movie coming out? What day? And how much did it cost? I don't know. Look it up. But we talked about Animal House. But that's journalism, though. And so I'm definitely a fiction person, but it's the stories that I love. And I have to say that the life that I've lived, in particular too, the Marine Corps, wow, it's just, in a lot of ways, the U.S. military is the most diverse tribe in the history of humanity. And I think for somebody like myself who came from basically what is a middle class to upper middle class conservative white suburb of Pittsburgh in the 80s, being in the military was the first time that I ever was, again, in very close proximity with people who didn't have the same experiences that I did growing up. And for me, it was absolutely transformational. And it's, like we were talking about earlier about the sort of piercing of that obliviousness. And I think for me, it was wow, this is, some of my Marines and my Black Marines in Houston had a different experience than I did. And these are really great people. And I have to say, for lack of a better way of putting it, my Marines and Marines in general always gave me a lot of love. And still to this day, many years after I've been out, and it really transformed the way that I saw the world. And I think that was a big motivator for writing this book and the stories that I tell. So
that was something I noticed reading the book, is often it was about the people you were. There were several chapters where it was about your kind of a wango bwango 1980s growing up in Pittsburgh and all that stuff. And I wore Adidas, and people called me gay for wearing Adidas. And then it kind of cuts forward to the Gulf War, but everything was about the people you were surrounded with. It wasn't so much there wasn't really anything. Your character was almost like an avatar for what you just described, this almost middle class America, and then everything was either about your father or the people around you or everything else. It was about these, or your girlfriend at the time, and all these things that you just kind of experienced. And when I first met you, I knew there was something that I was like, okay, this guy isn't your average. You're not like my buddy Carl, who I spent the evening at Fort Dix with, who is from West Virginia, and he just kind of you go into his house and all it is boxes full of plate carriers, and he's just talking about this and that, and he's like, all right, we gotta get out. But you're more I met you and I was like, you're a fucking Marine captain, what the hell? You dress really well and you're very fucking cool and all this stuff. And then I'm learning more about you, and I was like, okay, I've never met someone like you. And it was there was a lot of what I wanted, what I said earlier, where I was like, there's a masculinity to you, but there's also this gentleness in your writing. and this like love for the people that you were surrounding yourself with. That I think ultimately what made me cry reading your book was your father, and the love you had for your father, and I think like that's the beautiful thing about your book. I read it expecting it to be a war memoir, and I realized it was just about like almost like growing up.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of like almost like J.D. Salinger-esque a little bit. God, there was another book it really reminded me of that I texted you about. I remember when I finished it, I texted you and I said, you might as well have committed seppuku in front of me, because it was so vulnerable. The whole book was so vulnerable. It was just, I was like, I can't believe you'd fucking say this. Like, it's nuts. This must have been hard. When you're writing it, were you like emotional, like the words coming out of you, or?
Not emotional, but I mean, I think I have a pretty strong connection to my emotions, and in again, at least my truth.
Yeah.
And I think so again, part of what we're examining in the book Surrender too is sort of like mythologies. Mm-hmm. And I think, and again, you're talking about Rambo or whatever.
I think we're getting to this wetlands real quick. You want to scoot out of here? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh yeah, there's like a tank trap over here.
Let me read the chat before you. Yeah.
We're avoiding disaster here.
Also, I think we got to return pretty soon, in the next 5 minutes.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So why is this moving? I mean, I think I grew up occupying a lot of sort of like classic American masculine roles. Mm-hmm. Even to have like somebody like my father being a Marine pilot and that sort of thing, and he was a hyper masculine guy, but like a really cool guy. Anyway, and then playing football and being captain of the football team and being the all conference yeah. I mean, again, it's like a fucking John Hughes movie, like an 80s teen movie. And, then, where does that guy go to school? Well, he goes to the U.S. Naval Academy, as my father called it, the man factory, because they made men there.
Yeah.
And then what do you do after you go to the Naval Academy? Well, you fucking go in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Because does it get more masculine than that? Mm-hmm. I have to say, though, that I've always sort of questioned the kind of masculinity in those mythologies, because I think they bear questioning.
Yeah.
I think the thing that attracts us to stuff, I don't know, whatever, coming to LA or where you go to school or, like joining the Marine Corps or whatever, it's the mythology that attracts us. Mm-hmm. And that's what the commercials and, the billboards and stuff are about. But then there's the reality.
Yeah.
And so I'm fascinated by that area in between the mythology and the reality.
Yeah.
You go to a war, and again, one of the stories involves, an enlisted Marine stealing the mail of the officer protagonist.
Yeah.
In this dysfunctional relationship that develops between the two of them. That's a war story.
Yeah.
But again, that's that area between the mythology. It's the officer supposed to be this, I'm a leader, I'm a Marine, I'm tough. But he allows this 19-year-old kid to manipulate him, and he kind of enjoys being manipulated because he feels important. And
yeah.
So, I mean, again, it examines the mythology of what is a Marine officer,
Yeah.
Because, we're human beings.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. To me, the book is about, again, examining the sort of classic tropes of American masculinity and the mythology of these institutions.
Yeah. So. The one thing I like about you is you're one of my most liberal friends, but you constantly gay bash me, so that's the best thing.
Well, you basically deserve any sort of... I mean, I know you're... Gen Zers are a little...
he constantly calls me a Gen Zer, and it pisses me off to no end.
Well, aren't you a Gen Zer?
I'm a millennial, man. I'm like middle ground millennial.
I can't even believe that you're claiming that.
Yes, dude. We're the best generation.
No, actually, as the father of two Gen Zers, Gen Z, wow, fucking love you guys. I like millennials too. Gen Xers, when you get a good Gen Xer, they're really good.
Gen Xers are hard. Gen Xers can be tough.
They can be, because now all of a sudden we're like ancient.
Yeah.
And, you know, grew up like, you know, getting beat by a belt.
Yeah. Look at this. We're going back to Doc. When we get back, let's we'll answer some more questions, maybe wrap up a few thoughts on like a bench, and then we'll wrap this up. We're very on time.
Oh, is it really?
Let's see. Yeah. Somebody says this is romantic as fuck.
It is romantic as fuck.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey. We committed no crimes out there.
It was fun. No.
Well, we were drunk already.
Do you think like a gang member's ever tried to ditch a gun by renting a swan boat in the middle of this lake?
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
That's I'm picturing that. That's a scene in a movie.
It is 20 feet down, so...
Yeah, man. I remember when they would drag this lake.
28 feet, yeah.
Wow, so
Yeah,
you could...
I think they trained there like a couple of years ago and they found out us.
Oh my God, yeah. They find a bunch
Yeah, but
of stuff.
no, they didn't. I was actually kind of disappointed what they found in there, because it was sort of like, there was like a phone booth. It's like, oh, that's kind of interesting and like dumb, but it's like, we all know somebody that would throw like, you know, a piece of furniture into a lake, but there's no bodies. There wasn't like maybe one gun. And you think that like, well, man, LA in the like 70s and 80s and 90s,
I
and
think it's way different now.
Yeah.
compared to back then.
but still you would think, I don't know, isn't there like a 40-year-old gun in here or a body? Come on, LA, you can do better than that. So, yeah,
Where do we put these? Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was fucking awesome.
That
I've
was
literally
awesome.
watched people do this. Had no idea it was that cheap.
I have to say, my kids are going to be very jealous.
Oh, dude. Well, you know, they can cry about it.
Cry about
it.
Wow, and people are still coming.
Oh yeah. It was fun as hell. Oh Jesus. Didn't expect that. Cool. Say us.
Have fun, guys.
All right, thank you. Do we go behind you? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shit. Let's see. What position did you play?
I was a center. Can you believe I was 225 pounds?
Jesus, dude. You're fucking huge.
Yeah, and it was quad A. And so, I mean, like, literally the first guy that I played against, this nose guard, I mean, the Raiders drafted him. He was like 275 pounds.
Yeah.
So I just put as much LBs on this 5'11" and 11 tenths or whatever.
I could have sworn you were like 6. I always thought you were taller than me.
I'm probably right about 6. But anyway,
I'm 5'11" and 3/4. That's my thing. You're taller than me.
Yeah, I'm taller than you.
You're a son of a bitch.
But I don't know. I mean, again, I liked hitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, that's like the whole thing about the Marine Corps too. Again, the guy that was asking, should I join the military? Well, I mean, if you're talking about the Marine Corps, you got to want to be a Marine. There's no other reason to join the Marine Corps. If you're looking for money for college or something like that, join the Air Force.
Yeah.
Because it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to want to be a Marine to be in the Marine Corps. And I think enjoying things like being physical is part of the job description. And I always loved that. Like, that was the cool part about it. I thought, I didn't really enjoy the job so much.
Yeah. The mythology.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the people part of it. I liked being in charge of all these people from, again, really different backgrounds and being like 25 and you're totally responsible for their welfare in general. But it would be cool, like at the basic school, which is sort of like the Marine Officers Boot Camp in Quantico, Virginia. They would basically have like these pits, and you would sort of ring the pit, and you know you'd be wearing like a football helmet, and you would have pugil sticks, and they would call out like, you know, Knauf, O'Hare, and then you would go run in the middle in this pit and beat the shit out of each other, and everybody would be like screaming for blood.
It's like Mad Max.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's intentionally like that. Then another one that was really cool too. Same concept. Basically, there's like these woods, and it was like a mile in length, and they had these they had a group starting here and a group starting here, like a mile away from each other, and there'd be like a circle. Then there was a circle in the middle, and so basically you'd go running through the woods with your helmet and Tugel stick on and like a flak jacket.
Yeah.
And you would fight.
Yeah.
So the deal was that like when you started and went to the first, or maybe it was like 3 circles, and then so the first circle you would go into, this guy had already fought twice, and so it's his 3rd fight, and so he's carrying this like, I don't know, weighs like 15 pounds or something.
Yeah.
He's exhausted, and you got this fresh guy
Yeah.
would just beat the shit out of you or not.
Oh.
And then they would just take a piece of chalk and mark it on the back of your flak jacket, like that you won.
Yeah.
And then, you meet in the middle, and you both had one fight, and just an interesting mind fuck.
Yeah.
To get you tough.
Real combat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actual combat. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was always a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. Hold on.
So if that is that the kind of shit that sounds like fun, then join the Marines.
Did being in the military change your thoughts on defense spending?
Oh, yeah. Like I don't know when they joined the conversation, but I mean,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Let's get away from this music. I don't want to get taken off YouTube.
I mean, we obviously spend way too much on defense.
I'm gonna fall slightly behind you.
Okay.
So you get you on camera. Yeah.
We obviously spend way too much on defense spending. It's absurd. And, unfortunately, at least the war that I was in, it was for oil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not, it was in no way related to the defense of our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spend too much, and too many people make too much money off of it. And, that train is speeding down the tracks, and there's no way to stop it.
Yeah.
And we've tied it up again, too, with the mythology. It's how you sell it to people, right?
Yeah.
How'd you sell it to me and you and your mom and my mom?
Yeah.
And, it's, there's honor and,
Well, the one thing I heard recently is like when we took Maduro, it was like we have that crude oil now from Venezuela. It was like, well, hey, the first thing that's going to go down in price is jet fuel. So we're going to be able to take some quick, easy trips. Yeah, there we go. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, the fuck kind of rationalization is that?
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Like, what happened?
Somebody got hit with a sonic weapon and their lungs got disintegrated, and it was like, hell yeah, we were going to get some cheap jet fuel.
I have to say, too, that's the thing, is that everybody who serves, everybody pays something. Either it's mentally or it's physically.
Yeah, you have some stuff. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but from
Of course
the oil flaring and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I want to stop walking.
Yeah, let's go. This should be good. We'll go to this tree around here. You want to lean on something? Or are you good?
I'm fine.
All right, cool.
What does this thing say?
I have no. Oh, do not disturb habitat. My favorite thing about this is when people disturb the habitat. That cannot be comfortable. Looks like goatsy.
Yeah, so I'm 90% disabled.
Yeah.
And again, you look at me and you think like, wow, how the fuck is this guy disabled?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all on the inside. And so basically sitting in that very toxic environment for 4 months, basically, with those burning oil wells, and just sort of just sitting in the middle of it. And, the military just burns shit too. Yeah. So there's like these burn pits. There's just fucking toxins everywhere.
Yeah.
So it took me about 20 years. And I was like, oh. Like a doctor said, well, I'm going to test you for sleep apnea. Yeah. And I was like, ding. I was like, oh yeah, of course, I have sleep apnea. That's what it was. But, you kind of like, you spend 20 years just trying, kind of like sucking it up, you know what I mean? And then basically I figured, so I have pretty severe sleep apnea, mild to severe ulcerative colitis. Like 4 years ago, like, this is a million years after the end of the Gulf War, I lost 40 pounds. I don't have 40 pounds to lose. Yeah. Which is absurd. You're in your 50s and you're just like, well, okay, am I just going to keep losing weight and just like fucking die?
Yeah.
And you're like shitting blood and all this stuff.
God, yeah.
And also I kind of can't hear in my right ear.
I know that, yeah.
Yeah. It's like your friend Nate, too, the machine gunner.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I was in, I'm interrupting myself here, but when I was in Joshua Tree this weekend, and I told you I got drunk with these two, little boy Marines.
Yeah.
And another Nate.
Shut the fuck up, really.
And he was a machine gunner.
It's a breed. That's a spawning point for Nates that are machine gunners.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, like which ear? And he's like, oh yeah, my right ear. And I was like, well, all right, Nate, you're 27 years old. So
get your disability.
Yeah.
Calcular implant.
Write it. Make sure you document everything. Anyway, so the sleep apnea and the colitis, it's an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
And basically, it comes from the toxins in the oil fire clouds.
Yeah.
And so here we are. It's 2026. That war got over in, February of 1991.
Yeah.
And it still impacts my life in a huge way every single day. Like I have to inject myself with, what is it? I can't remember the name, but it's
like a steroid or what?
No, it's not a steroid. It's what the fuck is it called? Oh, Humira.
Yeah.
And each one of the shots costs like $1,000 or something.
Every fucking day?
Yes. Oh, not every day. I do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But, now the VA provides it. Like I was just paying for it with our medical insurance first. Whatever you pay, $50 or something.
Yeah.
But, again, to quote Goodfellas, fuck you, pay me.
Yeah.
You should pay for all of my prescriptions and fuck you, pay me, I'm 90% disabled.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'm just saying, still, what was that, 35 years ago, still impacting my life.
I read a great article about the guys who were in the, the AC-130, the Flying Fortress thing, and how I think it was a army plane they were in, and they had someone from the Air Force come in and measure the lead levels because there's 22-year-olds having seizures constantly, and they're like, these 22-year-olds shouldn't be having seizures. And the lead levels were 15 times higher than what a human being should be around. These guys aren't on oxygen; they're just up there in this plane. Well, and
also too, along with that, I mean, again, I think helicopter pilots and stuff have a certain kind of they get brain cancer or tumors.
The engines or
just too, there's all this electromagnetic energy, and it's right behind their heads. And I imagine too, the guys in, was it the Air Force flies an AWAC or whatever, there's electronic jamming. I mean.
Oh yeah, the big with the satellite dish on top of them. Yeah.
I imagine those guys have to have an outrageous incidence of shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody pays something.
Yeah.
Some people get both mental and physical. Like I said, the Marine Corps, and though I didn't enjoy specifically being a Marine, but it did transform my life in a way that I like who I am now at this age. And again, part of that was that experience. But the physical, whew.
They took their pound of flesh.
Absolutely. They got their money's worth.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth bringing up that my father, too, who is a Marine pilot, as you point out, flew 307 missions in Vietnam. He died at age 56 from Agent Orange-related prostate cancer.
My uncle did the same thing.
Yeah.
He had diabetes from Agent Orange.
And for that generation, it's such a common story. And, I spent the last 2 months with him at Bethesda Naval Hospital, basically wiping his ass and massaging his limbs and wiping him down with a wet washcloth because he was just in such pain.
Yeah.
And, if you wanted to imagine, no, I couldn't imagine a more awful, more painful way of dying with less dignity than he did.
Yeah.
But again, here's this guy, joined them, loved being a Marine, loved flying, and, you die by yourself in your 50s, even after, whether it's McNamara or LBJ or Nixon, they're like, fuck, okay.
Yeah.
We should pull out, but we can't. But anyway, who cares? And then,
I was on the train just a year or two ago, and it was the first time I ever saw ads on the Metro, or any ad ever, saying you will go to jail if you don't sign up for the selective service draft. Like, you will face this fine if you don't sign up for the selective service draft. And then next to it was a stop hate sign, which I the dichotomy. And then I'm sitting next to a guy who's like freebasing fentanyl off a tinfoil, and I'm sitting there, and it's and I think about, you know, my uncle and how I remember when he got his Agent Orange stuff, my cousin said it. She came home, he was 150 pounds, he's a little guy, and he's eating gallons of ice cream. And she's going, what the fuck's the matter with you? And he goes, I don't know, I'm just hungry all the fucking time. And he gets diabetes, dies like 2 years later. You know, and it's like, there's all these, I don't want to sound, it's so funny because it's almost like a bell curve where it's like, you know, the give peace a chance people, and then you start learning about geopolitics, and you're like, well, actually, it's a lot more complicated than just give peace a chance. And then there's just like, well, it just circles right back to, like, we shouldn't be just blowing the fuck out of each other constantly. We shouldn't have an oligarchy in the United States. We shouldn't have these people that are just basically profiting off of immense human suffering. Immense human suffering.
Absolutely. And again, it's like, you know, we were talking about just like one of the questions about like defense spending. Mm-hmm. Fucking people get really rich off this shit.
Oh my God, yes.
And I mean, whether it's Wall Street or, you know, Northrop Grumman or, you know, whoever, like, there's just so much money to be made that it's like, it's almost impossible, I think, to stop that.
Yeah.
And again, they sell it to us. Mm-hmm. They come up with these great slogans, you know.
Patriot missiles.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, it's all part of the, you know, the mythology, the mythologizing of it. Because otherwise, again, like, why would I willingly commit my son or daughter to making, you know, the shareholders at, you know, again, Northrop Grumman rich?
Can I shoot my first Diane Sawyer kind of question, or just kind of tough question towards you?
Go for it.
I don't want to like thank you for smoking. Have a thank you for smoking moment. What if your son wanted to sign up for the military?
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
Like I said, the transformation that occurred to me, again, changed my life. Being in the Marine Corps. It's one of those questions, like, sometimes I think, oh, if I knew what I knew now and I could go back and do it over again, would I do it? It's a tough question, because I think maybe I would, because, again, like I said, whatever the here part that changed for me, I like that. And I think that
let's just say, for sake of argument, specifically Marines.
He would get a lot of, again, he would have a kind of transformation, but again, he can do whatever he wants, and I'd be very proud of him, because I love the Marine Corps. And I know it would give him kind of like superpowers, so to speak, in a way. But again, like, to send him to Greenland, you know, or to Venezuela, with these fucking, or either over there. I mean, that's that's east.
That's
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people who clearly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that would be, and he's such a wonderful human, that would be such a waste.
Yeah. So you'd be sweating. It'd be like a yes.
Absolutely.
It'd be a yes, but I'd be sweating the entire time, kind of thing. That makes sense. Let me just check the chat. We're gonna do one more thing real quick, just one more kind of round of questions, and then we'll cut it off. So we said, ask him if he wants to kiss.
Him, the person who asked the question?
No,
I don't even know you.
Ask you if you want to kiss. Okay, so we got a couple. Let's see. Real quick one, Ravens-Steelers playoff game.
Steelers, obviously.
Yeah. We're going to do one last question. Does the financial benefits of being in the military only cover medical conditions developed during service?
You mean as far...
That's not going to be our final question. Went on something better than that. So, like, does it only cover medical conditions you get in the course of your service?
No, I mean, like, any sort of like I use the VA now. I have to say, for all the shit that people talk about the VA and as dysfunctional as the VA can be, and as much as, you know, the people in the White House clearly hate the VA. And, you know, slashing and cutting. The VA does a great job.
Yeah. One thing I've always liked about you is you love public utilities.
What's
One
that?
thing I've always liked that you love public utilities. We've always united on like going to the library,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
the bus, taking the train.
I'm a citizen.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
But like that, I mean, what's the classic definition? Citizen is like someone who participates in their society.
It's like a Roman term, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, you know, though I can't quote exactly what the definition is right now, but I am in a weird way, it's like I'm kind of like a socialist like that. Like I like, well, the library should be great. And luckily in our city, Los Angeles, we have a great library system.
Fucking phenomenal library.
It's phenomenal.
It's stinky, but it's good.
Well, yeah, it's
Kinda
stinky.
like me.
It's stinky because what we were talking, you know, it's become like a homeless shelter, which is sad.
Yeah.
And I think librarians, in a lot of ways, are like really powerful people, and like you don't fuck with a librarian because
I think over the last year, the 2 times I've been scolded, it was from a librarian.
Yeah.
It kind of blows my mind that you get like a 60-year-old woman just like, where do you think you are talking at that volume? I'm like, whoa, okay. It's like a slice of Americana. It's nice.
No, they are, you know, everybody's a hero these days. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, librarians, fuck yeah, they're real heroes.
Yeah.
But yes, I like to ride public transportation. I like engaging with our society. So again, I like the VA. And actually, the thing, it's weird what I like about the VA too, because it's almost like it's got all the bad shit about being in the military and also all the good shit too. Like you can walk in there, and again, somebody could yell at you, "Hey, you know, you can't sit there," you know, or whatever, and you're kind of like, who the fuck are you talking to? You know, which is great because you can answer back. It's like you're in the barracks or something like that. It's like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me like that. Okay, all right, whatever. And there's, you know, I'm kind of strangely comfortable in that environment. But what's really cool though too is like, again, like you can have an appointment for like, I don't know, a physical or something. And you're like, oh shit, I need to get a flu shot. And so you can just like poke your head in some room. You're like, can I get a flu shot? They're like, oh yeah, you know, and they just like go and get it and they stick you. And like out in the civilian world, it's like, well, you know, we got to make an appointment for you, and you got to come back, and it's just really just like, you know, it's a lot. And the VA is great; they'll just do it if they can do it. So to answer the question, I guess, is that once you get the VA privileges, they just take care of everything then. I don't have dental though. I think I need to be 100% for dental.
I haven't seen a dentist in fucking like 15 years.
Go see a dentist,
Oh
please.
my God, dude. All right, let's see if we don't have a last question that's good, then I'll make one. Oh shit. Every time I open this up, there's let's see.
Buy the book, guys, please. Surrender.
Oh yeah,
Brian
buy
O'Hara.
Surrender. Let's see. You wouldn't believe how hard it is these days to get people to buy books. And again, it's like $11.50. Like that's how much a beer costs here in LA. Yeah, buy Surrender. It's an amazing, amazing book.
Thank you. But yes, it is.
Let's see.
Go out and buy that shit. Even if you're not going to read it, just give it to somebody.
Put it
on your shelf.
It's a lot of goofing off.
What's that?
A lot of goofing off in the chat. Yeah, put it on your shelf. It's impressive.
You will get laid.
You'll get laid. That's it. Oh my God. Books. John Waters was utterly right about books.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, all you guys, I assume, our ratio of
I'm going to say it's 99% young men. I'm going to say 99% of the people watching are men between the ages of, I'm going to say like 20 and 35, and there's like a couple gay guys mixed in the clique, and it's a fun little group.
Yeah,
and they're all very nice. They're very nice, cool guys.
Yeah, actually, you guys, I'm going to look at you right now.
Yeah, address them directly.
I get that. And you guys are, I think by the fact that you're here, means you're curious and you're searching, and you know, you're not accepting things at face value, and you know, there's a kind of an intellectual curiosity. Maybe I'm overstating the case a little bit, but again, I think that's important that you're here.
It's 100%, yeah.
And I think that's good. And to continue to indulge that curiosity. And again, read. Seriously, fucking read a book. It's so important. Smart people read fucking books. And it's fucking cool. Libraries are cool. I have this sweatshirt that I got from one of the branch libraries at the DC Public Library System. And it just says, what is more punk rock than the public library? And I fucking believe that. And that's so badass. And it's a kind of superpower. And I feel sorry for people who don't read because
it's amazing.
It's amazing. So again, if I can, re-emphasize to you 99% males between the ages of 20 and 35 is seriously read fucking books. And I will say that you will get laid more because when you bring those guys or girls over, whoever it is, and they see that you're a reader,
you got to get a big old bookshelf.
Absolutely.
You don't have to. It doesn't matter what you got downstairs as long as you got a big bookshelf.
Absolutely,
it's absolutely true. And the only thing I could tell if I started reading, I fell off reading.
Yeah,
I was reading for like 2 years, just reading. And then what got me into it is you just find a book that's of a subject that you like. No matter how nerdy it is or shitty it is or a dime store novel, just pick it up. Doesn't matter what you're reading. Yeah. At all.
Just read.
And read. And read Surrender by Brian O'Hare.
Read Surrender.
All right, let's see. I'm a 31-year-old millennial, not gay.
Nice. Congratulations.
Let's see. There we go. Okay. I want to end on that, but somebody just said, what's your favorite fiction authors? And then we'll end on that after that. That's a continuation of the last question or statement.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think James Baldwin, specifically, there's 2 books, Another Country and Giovanni's Room. James Baldwin is not merely a great writer. He is something more. He's almost like a prophet. Again, Another Country came out like in 1962 or something. It's a fucking brilliant book about America that still applies in 2026. There is a Soviet Ukrainian writer, Vasily Grossman, who wrote probably, I think, the greatest book ever written. It was called Life and Fate, about the Battle of Stalingrad.
Really?
It's fucking unbelievable. It's considered by a lot of people to be like a Soviet War and Peace, the Tolstoy book. It's so much better than War and Peace. I mean, people look at War and Peace and they say, oh God, it's such a big book, and they get intimidated by it. It's a page turner.
Really?
Oh, it's just all about war and fucking, and it's an amazing book.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a lot of pages.
Yeah.
But it's a page turner.
Yeah.
Life and Fate is so much better than War and Peace. I don't know, I can't make a comparison, but I'm just saying it was so much more satisfying. And again, about the Battle of Stalingrad, from the perspective both on the Soviet side and the German side, all levels, from guys throwing grenades at each other in, rubble, to, platoon sergeants, to generals, to Hitler, to Stalin. And I have to say that the takeaway for me that was so amazing about it was Vasily Grossman, the author, his fucking unbelievable compassion that he had for all of his characters.
Yeah.
So, this book is written in like the 50s after World War II.
Probably the worst battle in human history.
Absolutely.
One of the probably top 5 worst human battles.
And it's where the German drive to the east ended.
Yeah.
And, Stalin was, in charge in the Soviet Union at the time, and Grossman was under a lot of pressure to create propaganda too. So how do you create a piece of truthful art or writing in that environment? But he does. And again, he has such compassion, even for the Germans who are caught in that as well. Like one of the generals has to go back to brief Hitler about how the battle's going, and it's not going good.
Yeah.
So he goes back to Berlin and he gets to see his family for like 12 hours. So he has dinner, he has his daughter and his wife, and they're happy to see him. But the only thing in the back of his mind is like, oh, fuck, I have to go brief Hitler tomorrow, and I gotta
go brief Hitler. Oh no.
And he is, he's right to be worried that maybe he's not going to survive
God, yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But again, the level of compassion that Vasily Grossman has, again, as a storyteller, as a writer, that was like this huge lesson. But I think, again, it's like he respected the humanity of everybody in that book. Who else? John Fonte, one of the great LA writers.
Yeah.
Ask the Dust, he's amazing. Like LA, contrary to its like stereotype of being kind of vapid and shallow, we have amazing writers.
Amazing literary history.
It's amazing.
Raymond Chandler.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Chandler, even the stuff that, and too, there's the stuff that, the people in exile wrote here, running away from, the Nazis or whoever.
Yeah.
And people who did their best work, like James M. Cain, Postman Always Rings Twice.
The entire high concept sci-fi, all Ray Bradbury, all those guys.
Absolutely.
Like L. Ron Hubbard. My favorite Satanist, L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna end it. Let's see.
Yeah, and too, I'm easy to find on Instagram if you want to sort of like keep up.
Oh yeah, find him on Instagram. I follow him. It's Bohare.
Bohare, the number 13, the letter X, Bohare 13X. And if you have follow-on questions or whatever, send me a question.
Yeah, add him.
Yeah, add me, and again, because I am a citizen, I like to engage with people because. I certainly didn't do any of this stuff to get rich. Nobody joins the Marine Corps to get rich. Nobody writes literary fiction to get rich. Nobody makes low-budget documentaries about the world's largest croquet match, which I am doing right now, to get rich.
Yeah.
Obviously,
you do it to be a good citizen.
Yeah, and I got to say, connection is a really big turn on for me. Like I get kind of high off of, not kind of high, I get totally high off of it. So connecting is huge, and maybe helping, in helping people indulge their curiosity a little bit.
So be curious, connect, be a good citizen, and read.
Absolutely. And we're all going to pull through this shit, and hopefully we're going to have a better country and a better world.
Yeah.
If we do those things that you just pointed out.
Or I'll die under a bridge. And
Absolutely.
With that, we'll end it, guys. You guys have a good night. You want to say anything real quick?
Good
night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.